Hello, I'm Michaela Cup, and I'm here today to talk to you about the tightening, the loosening, the pain, the agony, all of it leading up to that special moment where you hear that precious cry that makes you break down. Of course, all the women know I'm speaking about childbirth. And not just any childbirth, I'm speaking about having a natural childbirth. In today's society, it's known amongst women to have cesareans or inductions or even an epidural. But what I want you to know is the upside of having natural childbirth with no medical medicine to help you out through it. It's healthier for the mother and for the baby. Also, when you do an epidural or an induction or a cesarean, you're pumping drugs into your body. Some drugs that your body naturally produces that you don't need extra of. And then also drugs that are chemically bad for you and for your baby. Also, you have to think women go through this all the time. We're strong, our bodies are made for childbirth. So, why should you need all the extras just to help you out? According to an article written for ABC News by Susan James in 2008, most patients don't know all of their options. Because of high malpractice rates, doctors are forced to push patients through faster and faster. So they're not letting them know all the options and all the different ways to go. Natural childbirth is one of them, but it's easier for the doctors to not have to wait full term for pregnancy to go. So they schedule planned cesareans, which have no underlying medical need for them. Also, they do inductions to try and help speed up the labor because they don't want to be there for a lengthy labor. But your body knows what it's doing. So it knows when it's ready to push, it knows when it's ready for that child to come out. So taking these drastic steps when they're unnecessary can be avoided, and I think should be avoided. Also, in 2008, in her article, she states that the induction rate is 22.3%, and that there are over 1,600 cesareans a year. Now, why would you want to do that to your body, to go ahead and cut into it when it's naturally going to push it out? I understand some things are medically necessary. You have a problem, something's happening, and you have to have those things. And that's great. But women, we need to realize that those are just options, that they're not necessary, and that we can go through it. Another article that I read was by Chris Kesser in 2011, and he wrote about taking back childbirth, about how 75% of women have epidurals. Well, what you don't know probably is that epidural, it was a form of cocaine in a way. What it does is it's inserted in your back and it numbs your body all the way down. It blocks all of your nerve endings so that you don't feel anything. Now, with doing that, you are blocking, of course, all the nerve endings, but also you're keeping your body from producing its natural labor hormones. So your body stops producing its oxytocin, which is what helps your contractions move along. So in doing that, you have now lengthened the time of your labor just because you have stopped that. Also, in his studies, he has found that after a newborn is born, he has that drug in his body anywhere from 8 hours to 36 hours. And that's unhealthy for newborns. It diminishes their immune system, so they end up with respiratory problems, health problems, and it's one of the leading causes that they think in these studies for sudden infant death syndrome, which other known as SIDS. So I know women, we think about our children as the most precious thing. So why wouldn't we want to bring them into this world completely natural, with no drugs, anything, and give them a complete 100% fighting chance? As a mother of 2 kids myself, I have given birth to 2 boys, both natural, and I've compared it to my sister's. She had an epidural, and while my labor was really short and really fast, hers was long and drawn out and took forever. When I finished, I was able to get up and walk away almost immediately after childbirth, while she had to stay in bed for almost the whole 3 days and then 2 weeks after. And she couldn't get up, she couldn't move, she couldn't bend over. I was able to do all of that. So it just kind of shows the differences between an epidural and not having an epidural. And you have to think, again, our bodies are made for this. We are made to push out these children, and there's nothing that's going to stop us from doing it. So I think more women should try natural childbirth and see what happens. So, in conclusion, you basically have that childbirth is a beautiful thing. It's painful, it's rough, but it's worth it in the end. And you get that precious bundle of joy in your arms. And I know you want to do the best for that joy that you can possibly do. So, bring him into the world unplanned, undrugged. Like give him a fighting chance. Make sure he is 100% healthy when he comes out. And then in the end, you're going to look at yourself and say, wow, I really did it. And I did it all by myself with no help. All natural, 100%, nothing left. Thank you.